Coming up on this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society, we're talking summer games with Minhdzuy Khorami. It's dangerous to go alone, so the Nintendo Cartridge Society goes with you. Welcome to Nintendo Cartridge Society. My name is Patrick Ellers. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mark Mitchell. Mark, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm feeling fabulous.
That's good.
How are you feeling?
I'm also feeling fabulous. I'm feeling a little bit warm.
Oh.
I don't know why. And I'm wearing a white t-shirt. And I feel like when I'm feeling warm and I'm wearing a white t-shirt, someone's going to see some sweaty rings around my pits.
Well, you're keeping cool as far as I can tell.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
That's what I needed to hear. You can keep cool yourself by trying to borrow my copy of Sonic Forces.
There's nothing cooler.
Nothing cooler than making your own avatar in Sonic Forces, which, yes, you do need to do in order to play this game. But if you'd like to borrow my copy for Switch, you can email us your address. Just send your address to Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. I send it to you. You get the postage to send it back. There's a little bit of a list right now, like a wait list, but it will happen, I assume, unless it never comes back to me again. Our faith in humanity was restored. It could also be dashed just as easily. Mark, what else can people do with that email address?
You can send us your pick or picks for the best Zelda NPC that is non-playable character ever.
And for
any Zelda game.
For the purposes of, look, is the best Zelda NPC the man who tells you it's dangerous to go alone and who you maybe murder at the beginning of Zelda? Maybe.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
You should jump at any opportunity to send people a list of your favorite Zelda NPCs, but this one has a purpose.
Yes, we are going to be determining who is the best, and without your input, it'll just be up to idiots like me and Mark.
And we are so dumb.
Do you know that we had a list of the best RPGs on Nintendo platforms, and Mario RPG wasn't on there?
On purpose.
On purpose.
We didn't forget about it.
We didn't, but... So look, you need to participate in this list. Email us Nintendo Cartridge Society at gmail.com. But today we are talking about summer games with our good friend Minhdzuy Khorami. Language gets a little bit salty here. Throwing around a couple F-bombs, a couple S-bombs. Just be forewarned, we swear in this one. Mark, let's get to it. We're joined today by Minhdzuy Khorami, actor, writer, comedian, friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Minhdzuy.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk about summer games today. Yeah, the headphones might be messed up. It's okay.
Cool.
I can hear you coming through on mine.
Can I take my headphones off then?
You can do whatever you like, yeah.
I can hear you better now. Because
I'm actually going to take my headphones off as well.
Well, if you can hear, you shouldn't do that.
Well, I mean, why?
Yeah.
So that you can monitor.
I'm going to monitor visually.
Okay, cool.
I'll keep an eye
Sounds
on
good
it.
to me,
I can tell it's making you nervous, Minhdzuy.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna monitor it this way. It sounds great. Everyone's sounding great.
He could tell that it was making me nervous based on micro expressions and my facial cues.
That's right. I was paying very close attention to Minhdzui's face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've watched a lot of Lie to Me.
That's true, but not for the faces. I like Lie to Me, but not for the faces.
What do you like it for?
What's that guy's name? Something Roth? What's that actor's name?
Tim Roth.
David Lee.
David Lee Tim Roth?
Tim Roth.
That's right.
Do you get annoyed when people say lay to me instead of lie to me when they talk about that show?
Who does that?
A lot of people just say lay instead of lie.
I would be annoyed if I encountered that.
David Lee Roth says it.
Well, I can't get behind David Lee Roth then.
Okay.
I guess it's just Tim Roth for me.
Yeah.
Tim, is that what we decided on?
That's what I'm going with.
Yep.
Great.
The OG Robin.
Tim Robbins?
Huh?
What?
OG Tim Robbins.
on Lay to Me.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about summer games. The games of summer.
In case you couldn't tell from all the stuff we said before.
That's right. And well, all the stuff that we're like stumbling through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, why are we doing this? Why are we talking about summer games?
You know, we're about 4 weeks away from the end of summer, right? Summer ends in September officially. Is that
Are you
right?
not
Is that
sure?
true?
I think it's going to be,
September 21st, probably.
Yeah, that
the-
sounds right.
but it's going to be
equinox.
hot through the end of the year. I heard on the radio today. Does that which means it could be summer until December.
Well, I mean, it won't actually be summer.
I
The
understand.
temperature might be
It'll
warmer.
just be hot.
I'm
I mean,
talking about like a summer feeling,
right.
though.
Basically, what it comes down to
Yeah.
is that summer's coming to a close.
Uh-huh.
You know, we're about to get into the fall and the holiday season.
Some would say autumn.
Yeah.
Not all.
We get an autumnal breeze.
Mm.
And so,
Some would say a fall breeze.
are those the same people that watch Lay to Me?
Yeah.
So what? We're
Your
going to bring
parents.
summer to a close by talking about our best summer games, our favorite summer games. don't know.
Memories of playing games during summer.
Yeah. I
A
don't,
simpler time.
for me, a lot of all the games that I brought, not all, most of the games that I brought are games that I associate with the summer, not because they are summer in subject, but because I played them at that time.
Yeah, me as well.
Is that a cheat? I don't know.
No, all three of the games that I brought are memorable for me because I played them all in like one particular summer.
So do you want to tease that ahead of time? What summer we're talking about? for
Sure.
you?
2008, 10 years ago.
So I also have a summer 2008 game in my list.
Minhdzuy?
Minhdzuy, do you? Summer 2008?
Oh, I didn't keep track of the years of any of my games.
That's fine.
But
2008, do you have one?
no. No, I don't. My 3 games were each a different way that they were related to summer so that I couldn't be wrong.
Ooh.
All right.
Well,
We
you-
basically told Minhdzuy nothing about what we're about to do.
Mhm.
I think if we go back through the text record,
Wait a minute, are
it'll
we
be pretty
recording?
clear. Yeah.
What is this?
And we
This
know
is the show, Minhdzuy.
we know because Patrick has his headphones in.
That's
Mhm.
right. Mm-hmm. I'm
He's
recording, and it
monitoring.
all sounds great, guys.
It's I'm glad that you're monitoring.
Mhm.
It does seem a little rude that you have headphones in while we're talking to you.
Sorry, I can't hear you. What was that?
I
Let me just
said
take
it-
these headphones out so I can hear you.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Just pull the microphone away so that now no one can hear it. Now I've got the headphones in.
I said it seems rude.
Thank you for
that
speaking into
you're-
the microphone.
You're welcome.
That's very good. Where would we like to start? Minhdzuy, you're our guest. Would you like to present your first summer game?
Sure. Based on how much context I have for everything, I would love to start.
If you would prefer not to start, one of us can.
No. I felt like I couldn't say no. You're like towering over me right now.
I feel like I'm slouching and that you appear to be taller than I.
Yeah, no, you're very tall.
Well, that's true.
You're
That is
very
true.
tall, and
I-
so right
I
now
apologize.
you are glowering.
Oh, God,
over
I'm getting
me.
taller.
Yeah, glowering, which is glaring and towering at the same time. Is that true?
I think glowering is just a word, right?
I think it is just a word, but it's not a portmanteau of
I don't
I don't think
think
so.
so.
I
I
don't
don't
think so.
believe so.
Or what does glowering mean?
I think it's its own like look that you're giving somebody. You're not glaring at them, you're glowering at them. Now I'm doubting myself.
Mm.
right, which is
dangerous
like
place to be.
a glare, but like a condescending glare, or like a glare where you have power over them, because it rhymes with power also.
Right.
Glower power?
Uh-huh.
I think of it as like angry.
Hey, enough with this flower power. Let's get some glower power in
Finally, some glower power, some dour glower power.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, sour. That's just another word.
That's just another one.
Mhm.
I think it's good though.
Yeah, let's do
Sour
this
power?
for another. The first one we did was hour, so I can't do hour as a.
Darn.
Glower is a synonym of scowl. Just
A
so everybody-
synonym of scowl.
yeah,
Okay.
so everybody knows.
All
So
right.
it's about 6 minutes for us, and that's the timestamp where someone looked something up on their phone.
Yeah, perfect. So
Great.
write that down. If you had 6 minutes,
Mhm.
you have to take a drink.
Yep.
Minhdzuy, what's your first summer game?
Oh. Sorry, listen, I'll move this along at some point, but just do
Mhm.
not take a drink if you're listening to this while driving, because that's what a lot of podcast people do.
Or
Or wander
exercising
around,
may,
yeah.
may also be a problem.
Yeah, exercising too.
You don't want to get an upset tummy.
No, if you're like me and just wandering around your house high in the middle of the day, then it's fine to take a drink. Anyway, my first game is a flash game from CartoonNetwork.com.
Perfect.
I don't know if everyone would say it's a video game or not, but it was to me, and it reminds me of summer because it's called Cartoon Summer Resort Parts 1 through 4.
Is this 4 games or is it
No,
when
no,
you
no.
say it's
No,
parts
it's
1 through
like-
4?
Like it was a thing in whatever year I was playing this in to like promote a flash game that was coming out on like CartoonNetwork.com to like go to CartoonNetwork.com/games or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can play this game, and so like it came out in 4 parts.
Okay.
I think I played it after when they were all out.
Sure.
So they are
You
all
were
4 separate
enjoying
things.
the fruits of an episodic release.
Yes,
all
yeah.
at once.
Mm-hmm. I was binging games before you could binge stuff.
Yeah. So at when are we talking?
What year?
Yeah.
I don't
Or-
know. I'm guessing
around,
Well,
yeah.
it's post 9/11, but I think that it's like around 2003 or so, because it was like when cartoons were like a thing that they would use as a block to promote to each other. So it was pre-Billy and Mandy, but post all the other cartoons.
Yeah. That actually makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
So what?
because I remember Courage is the first person you talk to.
So what do you play as? Like
No, so you play as so I actually didn't remember this. I went to YouTube and looked up a video of it because I was like, who's the main character? It was me, but like, who was I? You're like this fat guy named Uncle Gus.
Is this like an original character for these games?
I think so, or it's not. So one or the other. But I think
Right, sure.
I think that guy's an original character, but everyone else is just like different cartoons that you go and talk to, and the game is basically like one of those games where you go find someone, talk to them, they have a thing, but they need another thing. You go find those things,
Sure,
and then
like
you have to trade basically the whole
Yeah.
time.
Like an old like Lucasfilm style adventure game. Lucas game? What's that? What am I saying?
LucasArts.
LucasArts. Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
Like Day of the Tentacle and
Maniac Mansion,
yeah.
or
I don't know.
There,
I've
you
never
know the
played
thing
them.
you're describing?
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's like that thing?
It's like that.
Oh,
yeah.
cool, yeah. No, but like, so I watched a little bit of the video and I was like, oh, this is like way lower tech than I remember it being, because like you go and talk to someone and then like a box pops up, and it's not just like a speech box, it's like a box where you scroll through the text to see what they say.
No.
oh wow.
But yeah, you just go and talk to them and bump into stuff, and that's like it. You just like kind of move stuff around.
So what drew you to this game after it was no longer promoting cartoons?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, like I was still playing it in the summer at the end of it.
Okay.
So I think I just didn't find it
You
until
you were
then.
just-
I
you
think
were
it was
late
just like
to
a
it?
random thing. Yeah.
It had just been a long summer, and you're like, I haven't checked out the Cartoon Network website in a while.
Yeah. Well, I played this at my mom's office, like when I had to go there. I think during the summer, and like there's an empty office to go to, and she's like, just play on the computer, and I'm like, sure, I'll go to CartoonNetwork.com and play with games. And so like I played that then.
That's a. Do you like the game?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's like a fun game. It's like if you took out catching Pokemon from Pokemon, which is basically what Pokemon is. You go around and like you talk
You
to
just
people
walk
and
and talk to
do
people.
stuff,
Yeah.
and then you battle.
And so
And then you
it's-
grow up and you find out the battling's all based on numbers, and you're just like, oh no, I thought like I was giving some extra oomph to my.
No, it's
I was
all-
like,
it's all just
slash
numbers.
is a good attack because that's a plant, and you would slash a plant in half.
So you're playing it in the summer because like you were off of school.
Yeah.
And like mom took you into work.
Yeah.
I used to have to play a lot of. I used to have to.
Yeah.
Play a
Someone
lot
made
of
you.
Tetris at my dad's office
Mm.
when like I would go in with him on like Saturdays.
Did
or
you have
something.
a Windows?
It was
Or you brought your Game Boy.
no, I didn't bring my Game Boy.
Oh.
This was pre Game Boy on.
Oh,
Tetris.
I'm sorry. Or Minhdzuy, were you asking if his office had Windows full stop?
Yes.
like Windows to see outside.
Both.
Yeah,
Windows to see outside and
probably
the
both.
operating system.
Mm-hmm. And I just played a lot of Tetris on it.
Oh, cool.
My dad had a bar cart in his office when I was a kid, like on Mad Men. Is that weird?
Oh.
Did
Yeah.
you keep
Did you
files on it, or was it like was there alcohol?
You grew up on Matt Avenue, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
No, my father worked for a construction company in Illinois.
Oh, like I don't have anyone.
I don't have an
I
example.
thought I
for that
would have
either.
thought of someone
I lived it, and I don't have an example.
like Joel in the last season of Parent, or I guess every season Parenthood, but but they live in the Bay, so it's not the same.
So it's not Illinois.
No, it's not the same.
Mark, what do you got for your first summer of 2008 game?
Alone in the Dark for Wii.
Okay, tell me about Alone in the Dark for Wii.
Okay, so I think like one of the later iterations of Atari games where like somebody basically just bought the name Atari Games
Mhm.
and then bought a bunch of like licenses to like older games. They decided that they were going to reboot Alone in the Dark, which was like an older, like one of the original survival horror games.
I
as
remember
like this
the original
like modern,
Yeah.
Oh, I remember.
you
I
know,
this
like
game.
Resident Evil, Silent Hill style game.
Yeah.
So they were making a PS3 and a 360 version, maybe just a 360 version, because this was the time when like the PlayStation 3 had not taken off.
Right.
And so companies were making games for Xbox first and then PlayStation maybe later. And then they also were making a Wii version. And I only had a Wii at that point. Somehow I got into like the hype train for this game. Go to some Circuit City.
Do you have like fond memories of the original Alone in the Dark? Is that
No.
why you just got excited?
I've never
apropos of
played it
nothing?
before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. Advertising works, people. And then
True.
yeah, so bought the game. I just remember sitting in my apartment, it being, I lived on the top floor. I didn't have an air conditioner yet. I just remember it being so hot. And this
Yes.
game was so terrible. The graphics were bad. The gameplay was bad. The controls, like Wii controls were difficult to do well, you know, especially if you're like really trying to implement. Yeah, exactly. If you're like
how
really
did it
trying to
control,
implement
like-
the gyroscopes. So it would be like
With
you're,
like the nunchuck and everything
so like
too.
you're like walking around with the nunchuck, and then I still there's this level where it takes place in a parking garage. This is the level of like game design. You're in a parking garage,
Right. A lot
and
of flat gray surfaces.
and there are like evil roots or like weeds that are something that are like cutting through the concrete, and you have to avoid them. So you'd be walking
Cool.
around. Yeah. One of these things like grabs you, and then you were supposed to like pull back on the Wiimote, you know, with like use it, and then if you did it right, all in quotes, the gyroscope would read it, and then you'd be able to like fight your way out. Did not work.
Resident Evil 4 is the first thing I remember doing that. I know it probably wasn't other things, but like that's the first thing I remember having to always like jiggle your way free.
No, we were talking about this. Like I was trying to think of a game, and I'm sure there is, but Resident Evil 4 is the first one I remember that has those like quick time action events.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly one of the earliest. Yeah. Where you had to like just jam on the A button a bunch to like run away from a boulder or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then later on, it became like a main mechanic, and like if you played Resident Evil 6, which is like a fucking weird, you're holed up and shooting
Yeah.
for half the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, you could just be Leon and do like a bunch of round kicks over and over and over, and it saves you bullets because he kicks their heads off.
The whole like end of Resident Evil 4 is quick time events, right? Like you're fighting Wesker.
Oh yeah, because
He's
you're
got, like,
getting
a
away.
knife.
You're getting away in the boat, I think.
Well, there's that boat. Yeah, that whole like
Yeah.
El Lago fight where you're fighting like that fish in the lake.
Yeah.
That thing's mostly quick time events.
Oh,
But
yeah.
there's like a knife fight with Wesker, right? Or like someone at the end of that
In
game.
4? No, that's in 5.
I don't know. I didn't get to the end of 5.
Mark,
Mark, help us
Because
out here.
Wesker's like not in 4 that
don't
much.
think
he's in
he's
like a
in-
helicopter.
Is
Yeah, I
Wesker
don't-
not in 4?
He shows up in a helicopter because Ada, what's her name? Ada Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she
Mhm.
points him out. But like, I don't think you ever interact with him.
Because isn't the last bad guy? This is one we could look up on our phones, but we're not
We're not
going
going
to.
to.
We'll look it
And
up
by
on
the
this
way,
computer.
that's about 15 minutes in where someone
So-
mentions not looking up
So
something on
take
their
another
phone.
drink or don't, depending
Yeah.
on your situation right now.
You're walking around just in your house, just
go
it's
for it.
fine. Yeah.
All I remember, I don't even remember who the last boss is. I just remember you're on like a helipad, and you like grab a
Like a rocket
rocket launcher at some point and
This
blow them
sounds
away.
like the end of every Resident Evil game.
No, that's wait, the helicopter thing? That's in 5. You're in a
It's
volcano.
also
though.
in 1.
You're in a volcano. I don't know.
It's in
Okay.
2. I think it's in 3.
Who's the villain? Oh no, the last villain. No, I'm thinking of Resident Evil 0. God damn.
Oh, I'm thinking of Code Veronica. Damn it.
Wait. Because Jack Krause is not the last villain. Because you kill him earlier, right? In a like on the whatever those are called, the towers.
Yeah,
with all the towers.
and he's got like a big like
He thinks
like
has a thing
meaty
that comes
blade
out of his
arm.
arm,
Yeah.
Like Mega Man.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like Mega Man.
Do you know what
Wait,
also had a terrible
No, Jill's
ending?
in 5.
Jill's in 5. Do you know what also had a really terrible ending?
And
was
3.
This
In 1.
and one of the Revelations games. Maybe
Yeah,
both of
that's
them.
right.
The second movie.
I
I forgot she's in the second movie.
Alone in
good
the Dark for
franchise.
Wii
Yeah.
has a terrible ending. So you struggle through the bad controls, the bad game to get to the end,
Mhm.
and all it is you like walk through a rift, and then there's like a cutscene where you die, or like where like the world ends or something like that,
Mhm.
because they obviously were planning for a sequel.
Well, hold on. That sounds like a pretty hard stop. I don't know how's that set up a sequel. The world ends. See you in part 2.
Or it's
Uh-huh.
like transformed
would be
into
called-
hell or
it'd
like
be-
something.
I would call it All 2 in the Dark.
All in the dark.
No, you got to see it spelled. It's
Because you changed the ONE.
to TW.
That's good. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I like that too. It's too bad we never got around to that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Because Sonic the Dark Brotherhood actually ends on a cliffhanger, and they never made it because the studios changed over after the game was made.
Really, the BioWare
Yeah.
Sonic RPG?
Yeah, it's really good.
Is it?
It was a lot of fun.
I've
I remember-
mostly heard bad things.
Really?
Yeah.
I
It's a
remember-
good
I
story.
remember
It's-
there's a lot of hype around it because it was like a BioWare Sonic game on the
Yeah.
like on a Nintendo platform.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was on DS, and I was surprised at how much I liked it. I was like, this is good.
I mean, it sounds like it'd be right up my alley. I should check it out.
Well, no, because
'Cause
there's
what?
going to be a cliffhanger at the end, and the game will never finish.
I can fix that with headcanon.
Huh?
Headcanon.
No.
Where you just imagine something and believe it to be true.
Yeah.
You just make it part of your headcanon.
Also,
Yeah.
Minhdzuy, I feel like that's the dangerous slippery
I
slope
understand.
that makes people not want to watch Lost because they're like, oh, I've heard the ending's disappointing, and it's like, no,
The ending is
you
good.
should watch Lost anyways.
I agree with that 100%. Also, I do like the ending.
I wasn't disappointed with the ending.
I
I was
was-
disappointed that while it aired, there was like 1,000 commercials for Target.
There were too many commercials for a lot
It
of
was
things.
like actually significantly longer than like the chunks of episode and then I rewatched it and I was like, this is better.
better without
better
commercials.
without these Target and the Target commercials were like themed. So like the smoke
Lost,
monster was
that's
like
right.
in the Target commercial. It was weird.
That's insane. Why did they let them do
I
that?
don't know.
Target must have written them a huge check.
Yeah.
Or a regular size check for a large amount of money.
Yeah.
My first summer game
Mhm.
is also going to be my summer 2008 game. I wonder if it's the same game, the one that you have on your list. Mario Kart Wii.
It's not.
It is not.
No.
So it came out in April, and I remember I was living in Chicago at the
Is
time.
that the one I didn't
and-
like?
It might be the one you didn't like, because it's the first one that introduces like motion control steering.
Oh, the steering is real bad.
Yeah, and
It's
you
super
can
sensitive.
you have to like tiny little
Because
movements.
I'm just like, no, I've driven a real car, so this is difficult.
it is not, and you put it in that wheel, and
Yeah.
that doesn't help, and that doesn't help matters at all.
No.
In fact, it exacerbates the problem.
But you like the motion controls,
Okay,
or you at least excelled at them.
I excelled at them for sure. My one of my roommates,
mini-
Taylor, and I.
You shake the mini burst, right?
Oh yeah, you shake. Yeah, you shake them
Okay.
like when you go over a jump.
I think that's what I hate about it.
Yeah,
And
it's
is shaking added as a mechanic to video games.
shaking and steering with motion controls. It
Mhm.
was a lot. But we were really. I was living in Chicago at the time, and it was shortly after college. So I was working at a tea shop, basically a barista
Like
job.
a t-shirt store?
No, like a coffee and tea
Okay.
place.
Like a Tivana.
It is an Argo tea.
Like a
that-
Steve Arbucks?
Like a what? Starbucks. Yes, it is.
Oh,
That's
wait,
very
no,
good.
it is like that. Okay, cool.
Yes. But we went to. They were doing like a touring Mario Kart, get your Mario Kart driver's license thing
Mhm.
at the Lincoln Park Zoo, and so we went to this because we thought we were gonna get like our pictures taken and like get little laminate things with like Mario faces on it or something.
Mhm.
It was not that. It was just like they had two TVs set up so you could like play the new Mario Kart game, which was dumb. But then on the way
Were
home,
they flat screens or were they like CRTs? Like they had like
honestly, I don't remember. You sat in like a go-kart shaped chair
Uh-huh.
to play it, which was kind of cool. And like I wanted that experience at home, but of course that's not
Mhm.
that's not actually what it is. I wish I could remember if they were on CRTs or flat screens at the time. For 2008, who knows?
well maybe flat screens with component cables.
Possibly, yes.
Mhm.
But so get the game, bring it back home. Spent literally all summer playing this game with the handful of friends I actually had in Chicago. Not many. I had like 5 friends, and there's the same people I saw.
What were
over
their
and over
first
and
and
over
last
again.
names?
Their first and last names were. So I'll count me as one.
Okay.
I'm Patrick
You're
Ellers.
counting yourself as one of your 4 friends?
But 5.
I think that's nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I like me, Minhdzuy.
Mm-hmm.
My current girlfriend, Sarah Singer,
Uh-huh.
who we may have been dating at the time. I don't remember. Shelby Peterson, Karen Paddock, Andrew Blevins, and Taylor Anderson.
Okay, cool.
We had 2 of those wheels to steer, and then everyone else, like the wheels for whatever reason were like a thing that people wanted. You wanted to have the wheel to like steer this thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a game that we played like late into the night every night and like got drunk. I don't know, it was great. I love Mario Kart Wii, even though I recognize that it is probably one of the weaker entries in the series. I just have such a fond place for it in my heart.
Cool.
Thank you. Minhdzuy, would you like to give us your second summer game?
Oh, sure. second summer game is on Nintendo. I have the whole story. So my favorite video game character and video game in general is Sonic the Hedgehog. And
Yes.
so last summer, Sonic Mania came out.
Are
Last
you
summer.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can just cut that out.
It's gonna stay in.
Okay. But,
Are
like,
you? Unless you're embarrassed by it.
Yeah, I'm like really embarrassed.
Are
Can't
you?
see? I got pee all over my pants. Don't put this in
Oh.
either.
This is all staying in.
Oh no.
No,
We
we'll take
do-
it out. We'll take it out.
Okay, cool. Can I can you just wait a second while I get new pants?
You gotta like go to the store and
Yeah.
there's a Target near here.
Oh, great.
Saw an ad for it in Lost.
Okay, cool. You saw an ad for it in Lost? It might not be there anymore.
You think so?
Mm-mm.
Target's like plant and they stay put. They don't really move around.
Yeah, no, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go to the Target and I'll be right back.
Okay, thanks. And we're back.
Hey, when I checked out at the Target, I yelled, "We have to go back," and then I left.
Oh, that's good.
They had no context
They had
for it, though.
no idea.
No, but it was fun for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds like fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying?
You were talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Mania.
Oh yeah, last summer Sonic Mania came out. Which for people who don't know, I guess is a return to classic Sonic.
We did a whole episode on it, so everyone listening knows exactly what Sonic Mania is.
Okay,
That's
cool.
right. So, Minhdzuy, don't you dare explain it.
Okay.
Don't you dare explain a
I
word
just,
more.
I just want you. I just want
I
you to
won't.
save your breath for
Okay.
yeah.
So you can just edit in your episode of
Yeah, we'll
Sonic
just
Mania
insert
right
the whole
in.
thing right here and drop here. All right.
Okay, cool. And now we're back. I don't know why I snapped. Anyway, last summer, I pre-ordered Sonic Mania on Xbox One. I said that out loud, and I have constantly forgotten that I have an Xbox One and that it's different than the 360, except for the shape and color of it.
It's hard. The numbering doesn't make sense.
No, it went, I think, a couple steps back.
Yeah.
A couple degrees back.
Like a 365 step.
Oh, maybe if they're going in order
59
of degrees, though, they actually just went forward by 1 degree. You know what?
Yes.
They make
Yes.
sense. I'm
You're
Team
right.
Xbox
You're right.
again. Anyway, I pre-ordered it for Xbox, and I found out that they were shipping it on the day instead of it being shipped so that it would get there that day. And I was like, oh no, I really want to play this a lot. And my friend Amy was coming over to write with me, and I texted her. I was just like, hey, we're gonna go to GameStop, and I'm gonna buy a Switch, and we're gonna get Sonic Mania. She's like, okay, sure.
Well, so wait a minute. Why did it go from my 360 copy isn't arriving on day one? So instead of going and getting a copy for 360 or for Xbox One, that you're going to buy a Switch instead?
Yeah, because then I would have 2 copies of the same game on the same platform.
I understand.
But also on Switch, I was like, I'm probably gonna get it again on Switch because you can carry it around. And stuff.
Perfect. Yes.
And the Switch hadn't been out for long yet.
Yeah.
But no, so I actually went to GameStop that morning and went to check for Switches. They're just like, oh yeah, no, they and I was there early, so I went there when they opened.
Right.
And I was like, oh, do you guys have any Switches? And oh, so the new shipments don't come in until noon or whatever, so you have to come back at noon. I was like, cool. That's when I called Amy and I was just like, we're gonna go back.
Right.
We have to
go back.
Yeah. Exactly. So I went and I got a Switch and I bought Sonic Mania there and I went and played it immediately. I beat it before I got
Any writing done?
No, I beat it before we got some writing done. I beat it before the Xbox copy came.
Awesome.
And did you ever open the Xbox copy?
I played some of it and I was like,
I've already played this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: have you gone back for any of the what is it? What is the new content called?
Sonic Mania
Sonic Mania
Plus,
Plus?
I think.
Plus, yeah.
Encore or whatever.
oh, Encore mode? Encore mode's fun.
I haven't touched it since my initial playthrough of it.
Yeah, so the special stages are way harder.
Oh.
Also if you update it, they update some of the special stages in the first one so that the robot isn't as dumb. So there's some cut throughs that I normally take and I'm just I'm not way in front of it anymore. So I was I don't think they should have patched that. That's part of my run through was for them. But yeah, no, that game I've played so much. It's I think it's it's pretty fun, and a lot of it is reminders too that bosses and stuff don't have to be infuriating. They can be an actual fun thing because it's filled with jokes and stuff throughout the thing. From the second you start playing Mean Bean Machine in the middle of a
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
game,
I love that part of Sonic Mania.
my favorite boss is the one in Metallic Madness Zone, when you're tiny Sonic
Uh-huh.
and then he's dropping and then Robotnik's dropping tiny versions of like bosses from old games and stuff. So it's just filled with like Easter eggs and references and stuff the whole time.
What? I don't remember. Is that like something they changed in Encore mode?
No.
Oh, I don't really remember that one.
I don't know that I do either.
It's so you know at the grocery store the little bubble things
Yeah,
you put in
yeah.
a quarter and get those out. So he's like flying that kind of thing. You jump up and hit it and it drops out a thing. It breaks open and it's the drill boss from Sonic 2.
Yeah.
And then like the fake Amy doll from Sonic CD and
Oh, man,
the lava one from Sonic 1.
That's just deep enough for me not to get all of those references.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, Sonic 2, sure, I'm there.
Uh-huh.
But Sonic CD, I never actually played. Which
Yeah.
I understand is one of the best, right?
No.
No?
It's pretty fun. It was developed at the same time as Sonic CD.
Yeah.
As Sonic 2. Both of those were developed at the same time. Which is why they're like so similar, I think.
Similarly
but
good.
like the stories are completely different.
What is your favorite Sonic the Hedgehog game?
I think now Mania is.
Yeah.
But like 2 is like the most comforting. 2 is the first one I beat. 2 is the first game I've beaten.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first game you ever beat, Mark?
I probably the original Super Mario Brothers.
I think Super Mario Brothers 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
The USA version.
Well, Minhdzuy, if you want to borrow Patrick's copy of Sonic Forces,
Yeah, this is something we've been doing that our listeners can write in with their addresses, and I send them my copy of Sonic Forces on Switch because I don't like it. And they can play
Oh.
it for as long as they want, and then they can send it back to me.
I beat it on Xbox.
Did you? Did you like it?
I think it's actually like a pretty fun game. I don't think it's a great like Sonic game, but the
Mm.
levels and stuff are well designed, and it's fun to like play through. The story is very bad.
Oh, yeah. And
I
way too
don't-
chatty. It just goes on and on.
It's just talking heads too, and I was like, why didn't you guys just make Sonic Generations again? Because we thought you were doing that, but you didn't. Like originally, classic Sonic does not even need to be in that story. It doesn't
No,
make
they
sense
just
that he's
brought him
there.
in. Well, because he's cute. He's got
Yeah.
a pudgy little belly.
But there's like 4 like side-scrolling levels, and the mechanics are all off on it.
Right.
So it's like hard because
Like
so
the
someone
physics are off
someone
on it.
told me the mechanic that was off that they were trying to fix to get to match the engine like that they have in 2D was him being able to self-correct after you jump, because that's what's off about it is you can't jump and then move very much,
Oh.
and so that's why it's like it
Yeah, that
feels
makes
risky
sense.
to like make any moves. It feels hard to like run fast throughout levels.
And you never. That's the death knell for a Sonic game.
Yeah.
Is when you're afraid to go fast.
Yeah,
You gotta.
because
go
you gotta
fast.
go fast. Yeah,
You gotta.
that's
Mark?
from that beloved.
we got to go
Yes.
back.
That
Do we have
beloved
to go
anime
back?
show.
We gotta,
gotta
go
go back.
fast. We gotta go fast back.
All right. The second summer game from 2008 was No More Heroes.
I thought he was gonna say Sonic Mania, but it's from a different year.
Yeah. No More Heroes.
No More Heroes.
Is
So
that
again,
that's
like
the first one.
The first one, like the Wii exclusive. Guys, I don't like this game.
you were playing a lot of Wii in the summer of 2008.
It was the only console I owned.
Yeah, fair
I didn't
enough.
own like a 360 at that point.
Yeah.
So you don't like No More Heroes. I've never actually played a No More Heroes game.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what it is.
Okay, so it's a game that was directed by a Japanese creator named Suda51.
Mm-hmm.
He was the like head of Grasshopper
It's
Entertainment.
the name that he goes by.
It's the name that he goes by.
Okay.
Uh,
That's like a username.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
basically.
It's his
It's
AOL
Okay,
screen
yeah,
name.
it's
yeah.
his,
I'm
like-
just like it's not a robot, and it's not like the 51st of people named the same thing for
No,
that many
his parents
generations.
are Herb and Judy 51, and he's Suda 51.
Okay.
So you play as this guy named Travis Touchdown, and you're an
Good name.
assassin for. It's a pretty good name, and you're like an assassin for hire. And throughout the game, you basically are just like it's just boss battles essentially. Like you run into a room, bunch of guys comes at you, you kill them, and then you eventually make your way to like a boss.
Now, Travis Touchdown wields what is effectively a lightsaber, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's like his like weapon of choice, and other assassins are like trying to take him down.
Right.
But again, it's just one of those.
Do we all understand the rights with lightsabers and stuff? Because like they just show, like in Super Smash Brothers, you use a lightsaber, but like
Well, I don't think
it's
there's
not like it's a
there's-
Star Wars.
I don't think there's no rights. Like it's just a laser sword unless you call it a lightsaber.
Right. There's
Also-
no rights for looking cool.
Yeah. Did you ever have you ever watched like behind the scenes things with George Lucas, and he'll refer to things like lightsabers by the not like official name. Like he'll be like, oh, like
So Han takes his gun.
right, or like like Obi-Wan takes out his not Obi-Wan. Oh, I guess he is in the prequels, but like takes out his light sword. That always kind of threw me.
Hmm.
It's like George, you know what's going on here, right?
You know what this thing is. Well, maybe as he's writing, he just has like a reference document open the whole time because he can't keep it straight.
I mean,
Like
it's
how
not
Akira Toriyama
lightsaber.
can't remember colors and stuff, so he always forgets what colors different people's hair are.
That's got to be tough, though.
You ever watch Dragon Ball Super? You're like, why is Trunks' hair blue? And no one's saying anything. But Kid Trunks is here and his hair's purple.
And any of their hair could become yellow at any moment.
It's exactly.
I see where it could get confusing.
Then Goku Black is just like, oh, now I'm Super Saiyan Rose. I'm like, what the fuck?
Super Saiyan Rose?
Yeah, but only he can do it because he's like half god, but he's switched.
There's a lot happening in Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball might be convoluted.
I don't know about that.
Maybe just a little bit.
Let's not say anything we can't take back.
It's not saying.
No.
Wait.
Let's not
Definitely-
say anything we have to go back.
Yeah, but let's cut that out. Cut,
No,
cut that
it's-
part out.
okay,
Yeah. That's more
you cut
embarrassing
this
than,
out, then
than the shit
okay,
all
then
over
the-
myself.
Then when
Yeah.
you peed yourself, that
I
stays
mean,
in.
pee, yeah, not shit. Yeah.
You also shit yourself?
Oh, hey, try not to curse.
Okay, I apologize. Travis Touchdown also does like wrestling moves. Is that right? Like body slams and stuff.
Yeah, that might be right.
So why do you like this game or not like this game?
Well, again, I think like the motion controls just made things more frustrating than
Mm-hmm.
they actually had to be. And it was some of it was like open world sections that you'd be like driving around in whatever. It's like Santa Rosa or
But is
something
it,
like
not
that.
developed well for.
Well, it's just like
As-
really because two things against it. It's on the Wii, which wasn't very powerful, and it was like a game that was made on a very small budget. So very little of it is like fully realized, and they try to cover up a lot of that with like style, but that only goes so far.
Especially
Also-
if the style's like kind of like juvenile.
Yeah, like it's very yeah.
Also, when you said the Wii wasn't very powerful, I just thought about like how it has that glowing blue light to make it seem like it's much stronger than it is.
It always made me think it was smart.
Yeah, because it turns on sometimes, and you're just
Mhm.
like, what?
Yeah, when
What
you
is
got like a message from Nintendo or somebody else.
Oh yeah, I always forget that there are messages that come to me. And
Do you
and
think
every like on the Switch, we're getting messages too with news. I'm like, what? What?
who's sending me
I don't
messages?
know.
My second game is not a game that I actually associate with playing during the summer, but one that just makes me think of summer every time I turn it on. Is the Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Sailing around on that ocean in a boat feels like a summertime activity to me. And are there any like snowy places in that game?
The snowy mountains of Snowville.
Oh, I forgot about the snowy mountains of Snowville.
Yeah.
It all feels like very just like hot and comfortable. And it has like that very nice like island aesthetic to it. And like your simple life. I don't know. It felt very. I don't know.
Like Super
It's-
Mario Sunshine.
It feels like Super Mario Sunshine in a way. Yeah. I guess on the GameCube they were just very like
Summertime,
summer
yeah.
focused. It's a summertime machine. Mark will tell you it's the Wii that's the summertime machine. But
Well, I'm sure I played a lot of games on the GameCube as well.
but I know
but all
that,
the ones I hated were on the Wii.
I think I've only actually played Wind Waker in like the winter though. Because like I
The
played
Winter
it.
Waker.
I played it when it first came out, which I think was like September, October. And then replayed it a couple years later, and again in like January or February. But like for me, it's almost a good pretend it's not winter because these are Wisconsin winters that I would have been playing during, which are nightmarish.
Oh, hey, I know those Michigan winters there.
Oh yeah, they're basically the same.
Mhm.
It's the same quality of winter.
Mhm.
It's too cold.
Yeah.
Um,
Too cold, and then the snow is smart, and it knows that as it starts to melt and you start to get used to walking places again, it falls again at that time and brings it all back up. And
that's right. And
It
ruins
toys
all
with-
of your
it
walking
toys with
paths.
you.
Mhm. And at first you're like, oh, the snow is beautiful and I like it.
Yeah.
But
The
then
first time it happens of the year,
wonderful.
amazing. Everyone goes outside and you're just like, let's make snowmen and stuff.
Yay! You're happy.
Mm-hmm.
You will not
by,
feel that
But by
happiness
February,
again. Right. Then it's all run over by
by
cars.
April.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, April.
But listen, the first time it melts in late April,
Mhm.
everyone comes outside, and,
And
you're
you're
like,
happy.
wow, I live in a populated city. There are a bunch of people who go to the school. I've never seen them before, but here
Because
they
everyone
are,
has just
and
been
everyone's
inside.
here. Yeah.
But I got around that depressing, lonely feeling with the Wind Waker.
Mhm.
Minhdzuy? Bringing it around to our
third-
final summer games.
Third final summer game. This isn't one that I played in the summer either, I don't think, but it also reminds me of summer. And it's Zelda the Wind Waker. Is
Wait a
that what
minute.
it's called?
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. Is this the game that I just said?
No, I'm doing a character.
Oh, is it me?
Yeah,
Cool. It's good.
you guessed it.
Yeah. Do another
All right.
one.
This game is it reminds me of the summer. But not because I played it during the summer, because it just has like a kind of like summer island vibe. It's Zelda and the Wind Waker. Wait, you guys, there's no like snowy areas and
This you're doing me again.
yeah, I'm doing you again.
It took me a second that time.
Mhm.
That one wasn't as good.
Oh, okay,
The
yeah.
last one I think was stronger.
Well, no need to insult me. You got
Well,
it.
I'm
Yep.
I'm praising the first
No,
one.
the point of the game is to just get the answer right. Anyway, my game I didn't play during the summer, but it does remind me of the summer a little bit. It's on Nintendo 3DS, and so I've deviated. I'm doing me now as a character.
Yes, I understand. It's
No.
very good.
Thank you. It's called Disney's Magical Kingdoms 2. Wait, Disney Magical World 2.
Okay.
It's a sequel to
Disney Magical World.
Zelda, and
Oh.
yeah, it's not very explicit, but no, it's a sequel to the first one. And it's basically Animal Crossing but with Disney characters, and it's
Whoa.
very, very fun. So I think what reminds me of like a summertime thing is it feels like a vacation because you go into this other world and you get there, and it's so much better than this world. And
Because it's full of Disney
yeah,
characters.
it's full of Disney characters, but you get there, Mickey Mouse is just like, here's your house. It's in our neighborhood. Here it is. You have a house. And then the king invites you to.
Are you playing as yourself in this, or like
You're playing as
Fat
yourself.
Uncle Gary again?
No, not Fat
Okay.
Uncle Gus.
Gus, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're playing as yourself. You can use your Mii.
Oh, great.
From your 3DS, 2DS, whatever, 2DS XL, SP,
New
Advance.
3DS Virtual Boy.
brick.
Right.
And no, it's great. You get there, Mickey Mouse gives you a house. He takes you to meet the king. The king's like, we need someone to run this restaurant. You get a restaurant to run. Then you just go and decorate it with different things. And to like get recipes and stuff, you go to the 100-acre wood and you grow different things there.
Who's this king?
He's the
Just
king
like
of.
a king?
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the town's name is Castleton.
The
Which
king of
translates
Castleton.
translates to Castletown.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's pretty fun. But there's like different portals and stuff. They added more for the second one, but you can go into different worlds. Like you can go down to visit Ariel, and you can go out to like Arendelle, and you can go to like.
So it's like Kingdom Hearts without all that Final Fantasy bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I never play Kingdom Hearts. I don't want to deal with that shit. And listen, I played through Sonic Chronicle of the Dark Brotherhood.
Are you a Kingdom Hearts guy?
No.
Okay.
I
Good.
feel like I would be if I had never gotten into it, but everyone's like, "Oh, the story," and I'm like, "So many games. I don't need to deal with this."
Please see all other games.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I love playing that. I love playing Disney Magical World though. I just like sit there and like live in that world forever. And you do like you just collect different materials everywhere to make clothing and to make food for the restaurant, and you can match your outfit to be coordinated, and you get extra points. And when people when you run past people, like, what do you get? You get hearts or something. They look at you and they
doing,
admire
like,
you.
Something like comes off their
Something
head.
comes out, and they're just it's like a sparkly sound, and they like admire you and how you look and your clothing and stuff. It
God,
feels
that
great.
Sounds rewarding.
It feels really great.
I'm surprised that this isn't like a bigger franchise because it seems like you're mashing up Animal Crossing with like Disney.
Yeah,
That seems like it should be
and
huge.
everyone's like clamoring for a new Animal Crossing. I'm
Yeah.
just, like, just get into this world.
Just
Because they
give-
have that,
you
they
would-
have that like mini game thing too, where you, like when you go into different worlds, they have like quests where you build wands and you like fight like pretty easy monsters and stuff. But like you just go and gather more materials in there.
Yeah.
You go talk to what's his face, Yesnid, backwards Disney,
Mm-hmm.
the sorcerer.
The sorcerer.
He helps you craft new wands and stuff. Everyone
Who's
has different.
Yesnid, the backwards Disney sorcerer? What are we
Oh,
talking
from
about?
Fantasia.
Yeah,
You
so
know
like
the mops,
Oh,
their
that's the
brooms?
wizard's name.
Yeah.
and it's just
Ah.
Disney,
It's Disney
spelled backwards.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Did-
it's a really great game though. I love it.
That sounds like a great game. I'd like to play it now. It's on
Yeah.
DS, you say?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find a copy of it.
My final summer game is one that I actually enjoyed
Oh, good.
playing in
Whoa,
2008.
change of pace.
And
On
it was
what
the,
platform?
the Wii.
Oh.
But it was the virtual console. So I downloaded Castlevania 4
Super Castlevania.
Super
yes.
Castlevania, as I think it was the first virtual console game I ever bought. Played it on like the Wii's Pro controller,
Yeah.
which was a really like strange.
What was their pro one? It wasn't. I know the classic one, but not the.
Well, yeah. Were you playing on the classic or on the Pro? Because
Oh,
the
it must have been the classic,
So
right? 'Cause
it
that
was
the one
shaped
that
like a
has,
Super Nintendo thing.
Yeah, shaped like a Super
But it had
Nintendo, had two
thumbsticks. Yeah.
thumbsticks,
Yeah.
and then like okay, so the the classic.
just get it right. Mark.
Yeah.
But played it on that, which is like was a weird feeling controller. But I again, no air conditioning yet, so I just remember it being so hot, and I would like there would be like dirt rings on
Ugh.
like the white.
Oh yeah, because it
From
was
the-
white. Whenever it got dirty, especially the battery back.
Yeah,
that would get
it
the
would just
worst.
get like so
It's
like
noticeably like a different color. It's awful.
Then
Just the
everything-
battery cover.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like darker yellow. And
No, it like legitimately, it's
Mhm.
fucking weird. Like,
well, because like yeah,
oh no, I cursed again.
the
it's, all,
entire
it's a swearing episode now.
Okay.
the entire console was like that. They were just like Nintendo was just like ripping off Apple at that point, right?
Mhm.
Because like iPods were that glossy white, so
Yeah.
like oh, we'll make the Wii a glossy white. But boy, did the glossy white not hold up to use.
Should have been a matte purple.
I would
Ooh,
yeah,
Oh boy. I
With a
guess that
handle?
is the opposite of glossy white.
yeah,
Matte purple.
with a handle.
Mhm.
So
I think the handle was a very good idea.
on the
The
GameCube,
GameCube looks like a toy, but like it was a good machine.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was my one of my favorite parts of the Switch reveal presentation was when they were like, we took something from every Nintendo console, and from the GameCube, we took the portability with like the handle.
handle equals portability.
Mm-hmm.
So Super Castlevania 4.
It's still my favorite Castlevania game. I know that people, yeah, like
So is that how do you make like the whip? You can just like hold the whip out in front of you and just sort of like dangle it around.
well, I mean, you can control the whip in all directions now, so you don't. I think you're not just.
As someone who hasn't played this game, this is such a strange conversation to me.
Are you familiar with Castlevania?
Yeah.
Okay, so Super Castlevania is kind of like a remake of the first Castlevania,
you
but
have
for the Super
superpowers?
Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so, it really uses a lot of like the Super Nintendo's like Mode 7 graphics to make things like spin around you.
Oh wait, Super Nintendo was when Star Fox let you like tilt your thing right so you could break your wing off.
Now,
what are you saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Star Fox first appeared on the Super Nintendo.
Okay, great. Then yes.
Yeah, is that
Okay.
what you, okay?
But yeah, but that's like that's the mode I think of where I'm like, this plane can rotate. Ow, I'm hurting the wing. The wing's blown up now.
That's the old Super Effects chip, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, making
Right.
it so you can have like polygons and stuff.
Exactly.
So do you like
I
Castlevania?
do like
4?
Super.
Okay.
Yeah, Super
Mm.
Castlevania 4. Still really like when I got the SNES Classic Edition. That was like one of the first games that I got out and tried. And when I was like thinking of games for this episode, it just kind of makes me sad that Virtual Console is going away in the form that we had it.
Yeah, it's just a thing of the past. It's not even really going away. It just simply doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
I guess I never really used it that much. On any of the because it started on the Wii, yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was on Wii, and there was so much promise to it.
I
Yeah,
think
right?
I used it just a little bit on the 3DS, but that's it.
Yeah,
Because I have like Pokemon Red on there.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I used it a little bit on the Wii, right after college, which was like the first year after the Wii came out. I was living in Hawaii for a couple months, and I hated it because it's a small island, and I got bored very easily and could just like feel the size of the island.
Oh wow, so you like really relate to Lost.
I really relate to Lost. Look, like Lost is kind of different for me because like I lived on Hawaii, but like I remember like feeling lonely and bad and just being like, I'm just gonna keep buying old Nintendo games and playing them on the Wii until I feel better.
Mhm.
It didn't work. I had to leave Hawaii to feel better, but then it did work when
So if
I.
you're listening in Hawaii,
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry.
sorry.
no, get out of there.
It's a lovely place, but don't live there.
Listen, even Mila Kunis leaves at the end of Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Right? And she grew up there.
Yeah,
Is the implication is that she never goes back to Hawaii?
I assume so.
I assume so too.
Well, maybe she goes back to
Well,
visit
maybe for, like,
family,
yeah.
but like on her terms. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
That's right. Like go for a week. That's great.
yeah.
Mhm.
See some friends, hang out on the North Shore for a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize I wanted a sequel just like showing what her career is like after.
Just like
She
just
just
a
works at
snapshot.
another hotel.
yeah.
My final summer game is a game that I started playing in arcades with my dad.
Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's try and guess this.
Do you want to try and guess this?
The
Do you want more of the story first?
No,
before I reveal
hold
the
on.
game? Okay.
Let's have a few guesses and then we'll
Root beer tapper.
root beer.
Okay, that's a good guess.
That game where you hit the alligators as they come out.
That like bow,
Yeah,
bow,
yeah,
bow.
yeah. That's the sound. Yeah.
I think that's what the game is called, right?
Yeah.
Bow, bow, bow,
Bow, bow.
bow.
I'm gonna keep telling the story, and you
Okay.
can decide for
Okay,
yourself
okay,
great.
how right you are. So my dad used to take me on camping trips in the summer when I
Deer
was
hunter.
little. It's Dear Patrick. Is
Deer
that-
hunter. Deer hunter.
Oh, I thought you were like starting a letter to me.
No.
Dear Patrick, we're going on a camping trip.
No, I'm just gonna guess as you.
Oh, okay,
but
great,
if it's
great.
not right, just to keep going.
I will.
Okay.
But we would never go to like a real campsite. We would go to the Wisconsin Dells. Are you familiar with the Dells, Minhdzuy?
No.
So it is a like small resort town in like northern Wisconsin
Mhm.
where there's water parks and like other sort of B-rate attractions.
Like
right?
a house with a lot of dolls in it, right?
Like a house with a lot of dolls in it. One of the attractions that I really liked was Tommy Bartlett's Robot World. There are just a lot of like bad technology demonstrations there.
Mhm.
Tommy Bartlett also had a Circus World. I did not care for Circus World.
This is like Westworld, but with shittier.
But with circus, yeah, with clowns, it's
Yeah.
all clowns.
Yeah.
And maybe acrobats. I don't know. I hated it. I didn't want to go.
It's like Robin.
But one of like the biggest attractions is a water park called Noah's Ark. And so we would stay at the Yogi Bear themed Jellystone Park.
That sounds cool.
And it was super cool. I loved it as a kid. But every time my dad and I would go camping, it would rain the whole time we were there. We'd be camping for like 4 days and have
Calvin.
what's that?
You're Calvin.
I am a little bit. I am.
Yeah.
So you can only go to Tommy Bartlett's Robot World so many times, which is like the only indoor attraction. And so Lyle was like, "Okay, let's go hang out at an arcade." And this is where I discovered Street Fighter 2. It's the very first time that I ever being I don't know 11 years old and like standing at an arcade machine that I'm like too small to actually like see the whole thing. And like standing next to a man, like a grown man, not my father, a different man playing Street Fighter, like teaching me how to play like Chun-Li and Blanca and like all these characters.
Ooh, like Nicki Minaj.
Like, yeah, like you saying Nicki Minaj is one of the men or one of the fighting game characters?
Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Yeah.
You
You guys watch Nicki Minaj's video? Chun-Li.
No, does she have a video, Chun-Li?
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
One of Nicki Minaj's new songs is called Chun-Li.
Okay.
She has a
Great.
music video for it.
Does she dress up like Chun-Li in this video?
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
I've just heard the song.
She dresses up like Blanca, it turns out.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so I mean that's when I discovered Street Fighter 2, and then I have memories of going over to my sort of friend James Gorley's house, like during long summer afternoons, and him having it on the Super Nintendo and just playing it all day. Being bad at Street Fighter, but like just because you can continue as many times as you want, and beating M. Bison eventually after like 7 hours of plugging away at this game, which is way too long. So Street Fighter 2 for me is like the quintessential. When I think of summer, I think of Street Fighter.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we did it. We talked about summer games. Hey, we'd like to hear.
I like that you say that as if it's just like, oh, you've been cursed and you have to do this.
I do.
We did it. We
I do.
finished.
We did
We
it.
did. We actually.
Here it is.
We
Fulfilled
do
the
have
contract.
to. This is like The Ring. So anybody who listens to this, you now have 7 days. You have to talk about summer games to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to pass
Well,
it
you
on.
have to send it down to 3 people who have to tell it to 3 more people.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Get
rings
them to send
a-
$1 back to you.
That's right.
That movie's a fun commentary on emails and how they used to be, and now Twitter and how it is, or Facebook. I don't know. I don't use Facebook.
The only part of The Ring that bothered me. I like that
Ooh,
movie.
the part where she crawls out of the TV. Scary.
No, that's the part where I get off the bus. That's where I'm like, this movie turned too silly.
You're watching it on a bus.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Where did you watch The Ring?
And you were like, stop it. Stop the bus.
This is where I get off.
And you're in the
I
halfway to Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I think I watched The Ring pretty normally, like everyone else in art class. Is The Ring in the same universe as Arrival?
Okay, now why would that be?
Because of all the rings.
Because of all the rings. Oh, in the same universe as Lord of the Rings, of course.
Yeah.
But not The Hobbit.
No.
That's a separate universe.
Yeah.
It's a pocket universe.
Mhm.
Minhdzuy, thank you so much for joining us on this.
Thank
Hey,
you.
thanks for having
This
me.
has been so much fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
Do you did?
Yeah.
Good.
Let me just talk a little bit more about Cartoon Resort.
Please. No, do you have anything other than Cartoon Resort that you would like to plug?
Other than Cartoon Resort?
You don't have to plug Cartoon Resort if you don't want to. We've said its name
Well-
like 8 times now.
Try and look it up and see if it's there. If not, just go to Rockins.
Let's have
Oh,
a-
wait, fourth video game.
Oh,
Okay, it's called Dolphin Olympics 2. You can play it at rockins.co/do2. Wait, rockins.com/game/do2. That should work. You're a dolphin that tries to jump up and go to the moon.
that
you got
sounds like fun.
You got a bonus fourth one. They're all Flash games. I used to play at a debate camp. Anyway, no, I don't have anything else to plug. I'm on Vimeo
Find Minhdzuy on Vimeo.
by spelling my name.
Yes. You'll see it in the description of this episode.
Cool.
Thanks, Minhdzuy.
Thanks.
And so those are our picks for best summer games.
Some summer games?
Here are some summer games. I hope you enjoyed that. I would love to know what other people think of as summery games. So please email in what you played during the summer times or just what games make you think of summer. Nintendo Cartridge Society
at gmail.com.
That is going to do it for this episode of Nintendo Cartridge Society. If you liked it, please rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff on Apple Podcasts, or you could share on any social media platform. We appreciate it. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at Patrick_Ellers. Mark is at MKE Mitchell. The show is at Nin Cart Society. Also, while you're on Twitter, follow Minhdzuy. He's at Minhdzuy, which is spelled MINHDZUY. Our Facebook page is just Nintendo Cartridge Society. If you like Mark and Mine's opinions, we write about comic books on retconpunch.com. Olivia Duncan made our logo. Our theme music is provided by 8-Bit Betty. You can get more of his music by going to 8bitbetty.com or by listening right now. For my co-host, Mark Mitchell, this is Patrick Ellers saying thanks for listening.
I'm Sarah.
And I'm Beth.
And we host Everything is Rent, a podcast about the Broadway musical Rent.
Every week, we're joined by a hilarious guest to talk about one of Rent's 525,600 songs.
We'll answer questions like, is Rent the best musical of all time?
Has Rent aged well?
Are they not going to pay rent?
The answer to all of these questions is yes.
That's Everything is Rent on Campfire Media or wherever you get your podcasts.
Campfire.